Good afternoon. Man, it's been a minute. I don't even know how to do this. I don't know how to do this anymore. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston, and yeah, we're gonna try to figure it out. Let me put the number up there. If you want to call in and be a part of this great experiment, the number's on the screen, 513-717 King. Um, Come in, just say hi. Just that's all I really ask. Come in and type the word hi. And my voice is I would say I'm like close to 60%, close to 60%, but I'm not 100% yet. But I'm close to like 60%. Give me another week, maybe two, and I should be there. I should be there. And I left my little cough drops upstairs. They really help my throat, but I left them upstairs. So we'll see what happens. I'll go for as long as I can go, and then that'll be that. And then that'll be that. Excuse me. Good afternoon, Kenny and Valisa and LaDonna. Uh, Myosha. Myosha says, "What the heck do you have?" Nothing. I just gotta. I had some sort of a virus or something, and it made me cough, and the way that it made me cough really stressed out my vocal cords. So I really needed to relax my voice and not talk, which was really difficult, and I didn't do a good job of it, but you know, it is what it is. When you have a powerful voice like mine, then you know, it takes some that when that voice get wore out, it takes some recuperating. It takes some recuperating. Um, but no, I don't know what I had. And I still got a really slight cough. Every once in a while, I have a really slight cough still. And see, that's the voice, because I don't, again, I haven't been really doing much talking. And even just this talking, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's already stressing out my voice. Oh my goodness. I need my cough drops. I need my cough drops because that really does help out my voice. That really does help out my voice. So hold on, I gotta mute y'all for a second. All right, I gotta get my cough drops because they help with my voice. It's really weird, but thank you everybody for I hold on. Let me. This is something slightly different. I'm very rarely on Facebook in the way that most people are on Facebook. Like I got the app on my phone and I go on and post a little something and hit send. I might scroll through my timeline and then I see something and I might say something about that. Hold on. Thank you. And then I might see something about that and post something. But most of my Facebook doing is 100% on my phone. So when you send me a message, there's a good chance I won't get that message for 2, 3 months because I don't go and I don't have Messenger on my phone. So I don't go on Facebook on a computer. I don't have Messenger on my phone. So if you send me a message, I usually don't see it. just so y'all know. So when I went on today, which is the first time that I've been on in a long time, I saw a lot of well wishes and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you. Thank you for all of the well wishes. I appreciate that. Somebody said, what kind of cough drop? Ricola. Ricola. To be precise, the original herb, Alpine Swiss. It's made with Swiss alpine herbs. All right, so that'll help out a little bit. But all right, now we all coming in. Come on in, everybody. Got to put the number back up. So, got to talk about it for just a moment. And maybe a slightly different take than what you've been hearing. It's not like the biggest news. Well, hold on. Let me go back. Let me deal with the Texas shooting. I don't know why I can't remember the name. I just saw it. It's like Uvalde or something like that. Let me say this. Everybody's talking about how to deal with gun violence, coming up with the most ridiculous solutions for these mass school shootings. Let's arm the teachers. Arming the teachers is a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. Number one, I don't think teachers want to be running around armed in school. And I would argue probably the teachers that do want to run around armed in school, you don't want them running around armed in school. I know a teacher or two, and every teacher that I know that I've talked to, I guess I should say that I've communicated with, said, I don't want to be armed. I don't want to be running around school with a gun, responsible for shooting people if they come in. And in my mind, if you get a teacher that's like, yes, I fucking want to be armed, and I don't get that dude a gun. Because that's the dude that's going to be like, yeah, that black kid, he got up in the back of the class and he started coming towards me and I feared for my life. So I shot him 6 times in the chest. Don't give that dude a gun. So arming the teachers, horrible idea. Horrible idea. All right, what else? Because I've heard a lot of ridiculous, let's ban assault weapons. We don't need assault weapons. What do civilians need assault weapons for? To protect themselves against people with assault weapons. But those are weapons of war. I don't know if y'all know this, but we kind of in a war. It's not your typical war. But there are groups of people running around with guns who intend to take our lives and our freedoms. You don't see all of these militia people. You think they just, cosplaying or something? No, they are preparing for something. It is their goal to take your freedoms and maybe your life. And they are in every facet of our society. A lot of them in your police departments. So, yeah, we need weapons to protect ourselves. And not only that, there's violence that happens in neighborhoods as well. And here, look, if it's good enough to protect our military, I had this little debate about what the Second Amendment was about. I'm of the mindset that the Second Amendment is about the people being able to combat a tyrannical government, a government that wants to take away our freedoms. And they want to do it by force. Look, I know it sounds crazy, but imagine this, 2024. Donald Trump wins. 2025, he's inaugurated. He decides to try to take away your right to vote because he don't want to just do one more term. He want to do until he die. He wants to totally change our system of government. I know y'all saying that'll never happen. You know why it would never happen? Because there's going to be people who resist. But you don't think that a Donald Trump or a Donald Trump type would mobilize the military against the civilian public? Anybody don't think that? Raise your hand. Donald Trump would never mobilize the military against the civilian population. Raise your hand if that's what you believe. Okay. I see one idiot in the back. Put your hand down, idiot. He already wanted to do it. He wanted to send the military out to deal with people peacefully marching during Black Lives, when people were marching in the whole Black Lives Matter thing. He wanted to do it then. And how do you, with your 22, combat a military person with his fully automatic M16 or whatever? That's what I believe. I believe that's what the Second Amendment was there for the citizens to mobilize in case the government ever got so tyrannical that the citizens had to fight to take our country back. But y'all want to do away with the Second Amendment. And we don't want to do away with it. We just want to modify it. We don't need those kind of weapons. Just the only people who should have those kind of weapons are the people who would actually harm us, potentially. Come on. Stephanie says it's already tyrannical. It is already tyrannical, which is why, in my mind anyway, it's not that big of a stretch to believe that somebody high enough up in government could mobilize the military against the people. And then what? Pull out your 9 and fight that dude with the huge banana clips and put them in his fully automatic weapon. You stand a really good chance against him with your 9mm. So I believe you should be able to get whatever weapons you want and as many of them as you can afford, if that's what you want to do. Now, what about the kids? What about the kids, Your Highness? Look, I'm concerned about the kids. But I think one of the things that we've seen, it's clear and it's evident. Having armed people or police even at the scene of one of these mass shootings is not going to stop the mass shooting if the shooter wants to shoot people. There was a police officer in Parkland, and guess what? A whole lot of people got shot. We all just saw there was a gang of police officers at the school in Uvalde. Is that how you pronounce it? And them little kids still died while they stood outside. My point is, I'm not even going to go to the let's get rid of doors. But my point is, there is no solution. There is no, let me say it, there is no one solution. There's a whole lot of things that have to be done. A whole lot of things that have to be done to deal with this issue. But the truth of the matter is, look, I long for the day when humans have no desire to harm other humans. That'd be a wonderful day. That'd be a wonderful day. But I don't see that day coming no time soon. I don't see that day coming no time soon. So, okay, what are the solutions? I don't know all the solutions. But I know this, or at least I believe this. You're not stopping shootings. You're not stopping mass shootings. You're not stopping it. I'm sorry. I just believe it's the times that we live in. These are the times that we live in. And I'm sorry, y'all, but swallow something down the wrong pipe. Sorry, but when you invent guns and you increase the amount of people that can be killed quickly, people gonna get their hands on them. And look, maybe if we was still in the day of swords and daggers, maybe you had to carry a whole lot of daggers and be real good with it, throwing them to do a mass murder. But we're not going back to that. We're not. That's not gonna happen. We're not going back to that. Let's see. And me and Nat had this conversation. He's one of the people who I was debating with. Me and Nat had this conversation about what the Second Amendment means. He was one of the people texting conversation because I wasn't talking. He says, why don't other countries have mass shootings like America? It's because of their gun laws. It's because of a lot of things. It's because of their society. It's because of their culture. Because of maybe their lack of freedoms. And what I would say is pick a country. Pick a country that doesn't have mass shootings. Just pick one. Don't matter what it is. Just pick one. And then you tell me, is that the country that you want this country to be? And if so, then work to make this country that. Work to take away, if we have freedoms that they don't have, work to take those away. But change the whole culture, because all of that plays into it. All of that plays into it. Somebody said, how do you call in? 513-717-KING. 513-717-KING. Dante says Switzerland. All right. So then you want the United States, from a cultural perspective, to be Switzerland. Right? That's what you're telling me. You want only the freedoms that they have in Switzerland. And you want the mindset, the culture of this nation to be exactly like it is in Switzerland. I'm going to guess that's not true. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. But because I believe when you bring up all of these other countries, it's everything that goes into it that makes it what it is. So whatever their laws is, those need to be our laws. Whatever restrictions they have on freedoms, we need to have those restrictions. Their government system needs to be our government system, because it won't work if you just take a little something from Switzerland and drop it into America. We're gonna be like, no, you can't ban this. No, I don't want a prime minister. I still want a president. Everything got to change. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. And I don't even think necessarily that y'all want to do it. I don't think that y'all want to do it. Oh, got a call, even though I have to cut off that ringer. You're on the afternoon experiment. What's your name?
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? This kid just calling, showing support. I missed you. I'm like, where is Emanuel at?
Yeah, that voice thing, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was wondering. I was like, did you get a antibiotic? Like, do you think you got a throat infection, or you just been trying to relax your voice?
Yeah, I've been relaxing my voice.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed you. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is Emanuel at? Because, like you said too, I don't do the Facebook and the messaging and all that. So I go on YouTube and I've been looking for you. I'm like, okay. And when I seen you pop up today, I was like, oh, okay, good, thank you. I just like listening to you, hearing your input, and just calling to support and let you know it's people still listening and watching and stuff. And it's just crazy out here, and it's just too much sadness. And like you said, it's just like you're waiting for the next one and the next one. It's just like when you look at the TV and the news, it's like, okay, when is the next one gonna happen? Because people are, and then I think they're probably gonna blame it on like, oh, well, I did this because of I saw that shooting and I was inspired. No, people, I think you're just doing it just to keep doing it, just to keep it going. What you think?
Yeah, I think I agree. You say your name is Keisha?
Key, this Key.
Key. I think I agree with you. People do it because it's what they want to do. And we got some sick people, not just here in America, but around the world. Right. We got some sick people. And here in America, they have the ability to act on that sometimes and get stuff like this.
Right. And it's just like it's like never ending. It's like every time you look up, okay, you just anticipating the next one and the next one, and then people are just want to keep it up and keep it going and keep it ramping up and keep it heightened, and it's just sickening and sad. And like you said, people just sick in the head. And then like you said about the kids at the school, like just them calling, trying to get help, and the officers right outside. It was just a mess.
I agree.
Yeah, so I was just calling to let you know I'm listening and supporting you, and I'm glad to hear you back. I don't know if you're gonna come the rest of the week or here and there, but just letting you know one of your supporters been listening and watching out for you, and I'm just calling in to let you know.
Well,
I'm listening and watching.
I appreciate you, Key.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thanks for the call. That was Key, and I appreciate that. I always like the calls. Y'all know me. I like the calls. But yeah, it just it is it's where we are. It's where we are. And all of these little solutions, take away the guns, take away the clips, longer background check, a more intensive background check. If you want to buy a gun, then I got to interview your neighbor and the next door neighbor and then their next door neighbor and 7 of your family members. That's not going to make the difference. And we're going to be sad, mourning all of these little kids or adults Because mass shootings don't only happen in schools. They don't only happen in schools. Remember that dude in Las Vegas? They don't only happen in schools. But I don't, I, I'm trying to not be negative, but I have to be honest about what I think and what I feel. I don't think it's ever going to stop. And this is one of those things where I believe, the box is open. The box is open. And you got enough guns out here right now that if you banned guns today, Joe Biden signs an executive order, and then Congress decides we want to pass a law. So then they pass a proposal bill real quick. They do it all real quick today. And they pass it, and the Senate passes it, and then it goes to Biden, and then he signs the law, and then it goes to the Supreme Court, and they say it's all legal. As of today, at 4 o'clock, you can no longer purchase a gun in America. It's enough guns out there for us to have a whole lot more mass shootings. And it's enough sick people that will get their hands on those guns and commit mass shootings. That's just the way. The solution is be aware, be vigilant, do your best to protect yourself, and be prepared because this stuff happens. Be prepared because this stuff happens. It's a real message of joy, huh? Let's see. Nat says Switzerland, I believe, has universal health care, better work-life balance. That's all up to each individual, whether or not you have a better work-life balance. I would imagine there's somebody in Switzerland like, I like what they do in America, but I guess I know what you mean. Much better income distributions and stricter gun laws. Of course, they're mostly white, and Republicans are too greedy racists to adopt those policies. So here, let me ask you this. Why don't you move to Switzerland? Why don't you move to Switzerland? I mean, come on. They got universal health care. They got a better work-life balance, much better income distribution, and stricter gun laws. So what's stopping you from moving to Switzerland? Just curious. Just curious. Now, I mean, it's a legit question. They're so amazing. You can get a one-way ticket. Again, you don't have to worry about it because they got universal health care. You can, I don't know your age, but they got better income distribution, so you can find a job probably to make enough money to support yourself. Again, you ain't got to worry about your health care because it's universal. And you'll have that great work-life balance. And then you won't have to worry about it because they got stricter gun laws. What's stopping you from going there? What here in America is keeping you? You can fly there. It's possible. It is. I've seen people from America get over to Switzerland. So it is possible. What's stopping you? You don't want to go to Switzerland. Even with all of that, you cool with it here. You cool with it here. This is where you want to be. And there's something about it that's making you want to be here. So all of that stuff you saying, and I mean, it's cool. All of that stuff you saying. See, you like this culture better. Because when you think about it, any one of you can pick up today and leave and go to whatever the country is that you think is better. Either one of you can do that. Hold on, let's see. Because this is our country. We got to figure this out first. No, you don't. You leave and you make another country your country. You sound like a white supremacist asking me that. I love black people. My people built this country. How is it a white supremacist asking you if you're talking about how amazing this other country is? What is stopping you from going? That's not a white supremacist question. That's just a thinking person's question. That's just a thinking person's question. I mean, it's a simple question. I know you didn't answer the question. What is it about this country, with all of that great stuff about Switzerland? What do you like about America? Nat, what do you like about America? I know somebody said it's definitely giving go back to Africa vibes. No. Well, only if you want to take it that way. I can't tell you how to take it. But I would ask that question about anything. I go to a school, but I'm like, that school is so much better than this school. I would say, then why don't you go to that school? I live in a house. So that house is so much better than this house. Well, why don't you go to that house? You buy that one. Car. I got this car, but that car is so much better than this car. And what's stopping you from buying that car? Would that be a go back to Africa vibe too? It's a simple question. It's a simple question. It's not, these questions ain't hard to answer. They're not hard to answer. Terry want to know what like-minded politician he's voting for. Brent says, because Switzerland does not know how to properly handle my wife's hair care needs. That might be your reason. But it's a simple question. I mean, come on, y'all. We're talking about America. And if you come on and you are talking about how amazing this other country is that you have the ability to go live in, it's a fair question to say, then what's stopping you? And it's disingenuous, if you ask me, to refuse to answer it. It's not fair. But that's just me. That's just me. But anyway, so I don't believe that there is a solution. I don't believe that there is a solution. And this is just what we're going to have to deal with. People ain't going to act right. We can't get people to be respectful to people on the smallest level. I put on Facebook, I was at a graduation on Sunday. It was a Catholic school, LaSalle to be exact. Never been to a Catholic school graduation. So I didn't know it was a mass. It was a mass. They had mass and then basically gave these kids their diplomas after mass. I wasn't aware. I doubt I'll ever go to a Catholic school graduation again. I didn't like it. And I didn't really participate in their mass. However, I didn't want to like be disrespectful. So I sat there and, just watched. And then, when the person who I was there got his diploma and they announced his name, I clapped. Other people yelled. I don't have no problem with people yelling at a graduation. I just don't. Other people yelled. But there was another group of people that was sitting near me. And this other group of people were like super disrespectful. Like when the priest would be like, let's pray. I'm going to use some foul language just because I remember it the way I heard it. It was a group of younger people, and they was like, oh man, fuck this shit. Ain't want to be up in here praying and shit. Just give out the motherfucking diplomas. And they was loud. So you got this whole group of Catholic people exercising their religion, operating in their faith, doing what they do. And then you got these other pockets of people just disrespectful for no reason. Like, believe it or not, you can sit there. You don't have to pray. You don't have to stand when they say stand. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. You can just sit there and let them do what they do. But this group of people couldn't do it. And they was talking loud, like, oh, this is so boring. Just get to the graduation already. We tired of this shit. I'm not exaggerating. This is stuff that was said and yelled out loud during the Catholic Mass portion of this graduation ceremony. And it wasn't just this group. I happened to be sitting next to this group, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if people think I'm with them. Because it was a big group. And they was a little, I don't want to use any derogatory terms. But they was hood. They was hood. The blue hair, hood, red hair, hood, eyelashes that stick out that far, hood. I'm sorry. The eyelash thing is a personal thing of mine. It don't affect my life, but I don't like it, so I mock it. But yeah. And I was just thinking, why are you being so disrespectful? Why? Just for the sake of being disrespectful. Like, I could pass off some of the stuff they was doing as just, it's hard to pass it off as anything. But some of it I could pass off as, what, uncouth. You know what I'm saying? They just think, but some of it was just intentional disrespect. This shit boring. That's not just being uncouth. That's just disrespectful. Oh, nigga, I won't be friends over this motherfucker. I got to be friends over this motherfucker. This girl, motherfucker, come there. I want to half understood what you said. Why don't you move your lips and stuff when you talk? And but why? So we can't even go to a graduation and be respectful. When I say we, I'm talking about Americans, not just black people. They happen to be black. We got a respect issue. We got an issue of value of human life. And how do you solve that? Because, okay, some of y'all say, take away the guns and you won't have these mass shootings. you'll still have the things that cause people to go commit mass shootings. And granted, if I want to kill people, I take a knife and I stab them. I walk through the mall stabbing people. I might be able to get, a number of people in the mall, 5, 6, maybe not 20. But that's still 5 or 6. What are we doing about the issue that makes people decide? Because this is not, oh, he got a mental illness. No. This is just bad people. Some would say evil people. It's just bad people. And taking away the guns don't solve bad people. Wyatt says, it's all how you raised. It's all how you raised. It's partially how you raised. I agree. I don't know if it's all how you raised. Because I could almost guarantee you that there's some people who are raised to be really respectful. They're raised to be really disciplined. They're raised to do all of that stuff, and they deviate. But the gun issue, there is, and when I say no solution, I think I genuinely mean this ain't ever gonna stop until we as humans are not here anymore. Oh, I meant to take that ringer off, y'all. Let me. Brent.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
That's good. Hey, just want to, wish you well from recovering from your, I'm gonna stick with it until you say otherwise. Your throat yeast infection. So I hope all is well.
Hold on, let me say otherwise right now. It is not no yeast infection in my throat.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for the clarification. My bad. Oh man, but just wanted to hit you up real quick. Family and I are doing a little staycation, so I'm trying to rush, and my wife is waiting for me. So let me get off this phone. Hey, take it easy. I'll be listening, and look forward to hearing from you today and tomorrow.
All right, Brent.
All right.
All right. That was Brent. His wife told him, get off that phone. And he had to get off the phone. I respect it, Brent. I respect it. Sort of. But yeah, there is no solution if you ask me. And I'm not just saying there is no one solution. I'm saying there is no solution. The cat is out the bag. Pandora's box is open. Any other thing saying that you can think of to say. And I'm sad about it. Let me see what else. There was something else because there's so much that happened in what feels like the month or two that I have not been on the air, and I can't go back and talk about everything else. Hold on, let me see here. Someone says, if they start giving these killers the electric chair or lethal injection right away, they may stop and think before they pull the trigger. Some of them get shot and killed. A number of them get shot and killed right away. So they end up dead right away. And that still is not stopping them from pulling the trigger. Like this last dude in Texas, he's dead right away. Remember Columbine? They were dead right away. I'm gonna be shot to death on the spot, and I'm gonna be given the electric chair or lethal injection very soon. Either way, they're gonna be dead, and they don't care. They don't care. Because they're bad, evil people. They're bad, evil people. And I'm defeatist guy, I guess. I don't think there's an answer. I don't think there's an answer. Somebody weak. What you weak at? Oh, Brent. How you get a yeast infection in your throat, Emanuel? That's the news we need. I would imagine it's possible to get one. I don't know that for sure, but I would imagine if you want to, it's possible that there's a woman with a yeast infection and there's somebody doing that cunnilingus and somehow possibly the yeast infection gets transferred to the throat. So it's possible. I wouldn't even think that would be hard to figure out how that might be possible. But since you needed to know, I figured I would share. But that wasn't what I had or what I have or whatever it is. Mass shooters pick soft targets. We have to reduce soft targets. Define soft targets for me. Define soft targets for me. Because I don't know if that's always true. I mean, by some definitions, which is why I'm asking you to define it, Wyatt. By some definitions, like everything is a soft target except for like heavily guarded things. Remember at the concert and the dude in Vegas and he was shooting? Was that a soft target? Up in Dayton, was that a soft target? What makes a soft target? And then how do we reduce soft targets if that's anywhere where people are gathered is a soft target? How do we reduce soft targets? That would mean people wouldn't be allowed to gather anymore. I know that's not what you're saying. But that's why I'm asking, how are you defining what is a soft target? How are you defining what's a soft target? And how do we reduce those? How do we reduce those? I don't know. Schools, grocery stores, movie theaters, etc. So you want to reduce schools because you said reduce soft targets. You want to reduce schools, grocery stores, movie theaters, or you want them to be guarded like, say, the White House. What? Help me. Just explain to me what it is that you're proposing. I'm always up to listen. So explain to me what it is that you're proposing. Because I know you're not proposing get rid of schools and grocery stores and movie theaters. So you're saying make those not soft targets. Okay, why it says when people are armed, it reduces the soft target. But there were armed people there. There were armed people there. Most of these schools have armed guards, police, somebody present with a weapon, with training, and it doesn't stop it. So how do you stop that? And again, the grocery store. The grocery store. Every time I go to the grocery store, almost every grocery store I go to, there's either a police officer, why it says no, the armed people came after the fact. That's not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. In Parkland, there was a school resource officer there. He was armed. And the story goes, he left, but he didn't come there after the fact. He was already there. He was already there. And I thought I read, and this I could be wrong about, so I'm not stating this as a fact, but I thought I read there was an armed school resource officer in Uvalde as well, already there. Now, the large police presence came later, but there was already an armed guard there, not after the fact. But I know in Parkland, because they basically ran that man out of town. There was armed police there. They charged or tried to charge that officer in Parkland. Yeah. But he was there. Police out here at Kroger are always on their phone. Daryl says, no, there wasn't. Okay, there wasn't what? I don't know how far behind you may be. So when you say stuff like, no, it wasn't, I know you think you responding in real time and I'm going to see it as I'm saying it, but it's going to be, and I probably said something else. And so I don't know exactly what it is that you're talking about. Raz says, in Uvalde, he shot at police first. I saw on the news, police were told not to go into the school, resulting in more children losing their lives. Anthony posted, it's really long, and I'm sorry I can't read it all on the screen. But he's telling Nat that just taking away so-called assault rifles will only bring down incidents involving them. Crazed individuals will go to the next best thing available. So how many styles of weapon do you intend to ban? And of course, banning only pertains to future sales for the most part. Yet we have reported 400 million weapons on the streets now. Okay, Daryl said there wasn't an armed resource officer at the school when the shooter arrived. Okay. Again, I said I couldn't state that as a fact. I'm pretty sure I read something like that, but then somebody else said he shot at police first, and maybe that's what I'm confusing. So, okay, Daryl, you may be right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. See how I didn't state it as a fact? I try not to state things as a fact that I don't know as a fact. I try to let you guys know and warn you in advance. I thought I read this, but I'm not saying that this is factual. I try to do that. And Daryl wants to know who's counting these weapons on the street. Well, nobody's going through individually counting weapons. I think what people are doing is saying, look at the number of weapons that have been sold that are out there in circulation. Now, sure, some of them may have been destroyed. Some of them may be whatever. But I think that's what people are saying when they're throwing out numbers like that. How was dude able to just walk right into the school in the first place? You can't just walk in our elementary schools. You have to be buzzed in. That should be international. And AR-15s are for the military. Okay, that last part is not necessarily true. And again, I talked about this earlier on. I don't believe that there should be, these are weapons that are only for the military, and these are weapons that are only for the people. I don't believe in that. But, you know, we probably have a difference of opinion there. And my understanding was that there was a door ajar, propped open in some way. And that's how he walked in. And I could see that. I could see that. From time to time, I have to go to the school to pick up that little baby. And I see little doors propped open here and there. You never know what somebody propped the door open for. Oh, I forgot so-and-so. Let me run out to my car and get it. Or, any number of reasons why somebody might have propped the door open. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but you're not going to probably have a society where no one ever props a door open at a facility either. That's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. The small city in Texas had 6 full-time police officers. The chief made a bad call. Federal officers had to take control. Oh, and the Parkland resource officer's name was Peterson. I do vaguely remember that as being his name. Smokers. Yeah, smokers will, not that I'm blaming smokers for this, but smokers will prop a door open. They will prop a door open, go out, smoke their cigarette, do their little smoke break. But how much time you get to do your little smoke break, and then you run back in and forget to take your little rock out or whatever it is you use to prop it open. That's a thing that can happen. People forget to lock doors. That happens. That happens. People forget to lock doors. Jerika says hello to all of y'all. That only entertains me, but it does entertain me. Someone wants to go to all schools online. Just make all public schools online. Is that like really like this is a question in your mind? That's a legit answer to mass shootings. Because again, I know we focusing on these little kids in this elementary school that got shot and killed. But again, we just very recently had a grocery store where somebody walked in and shot a lot of people. We had a nightclub where somebody walked in and shot a lot of people. We had a up in Dayton, like an open entertainment district where somebody shot a lot of people. A concert, remember Las Vegas, where somebody shot a lot of people. If I recall, there was somebody who went from like nail salon to nail salon and shot a lot of people. So I'm not just saying school shootings. I'm talking about mass shootings. Mass shootings. I know we worried about the school kids or, because that's top of mind, because that's what just happened. But if you decide, okay, well, we can handle this. All kids from now on go to school online. Like, yes, we'll never have another mass shooting. No, because people still gonna gather. And there's still crazy people. Well, crazy, I'm trying to move away from using that term. There are still people who want to do harm to other people. Still people who want to do harm to other people. And I know y'all not saying this, but when all of your solutions are geared towards, okay, lock up all the school doors, put a big fence around the school, and then right outside that fence, or right inside that fence, build a brick wall like a prison. and then maybe put a moat in there, and then guard every school like the White House. Okay, that might stop people from shooting the schools. But then, you still got the grocery stores. You still got the open air entertainment districts. Still got the nightclubs. Still got regular retail businesses. Still got concerts. Still got universities. But at least we saved the kids. Oh, and I had to say this because I see Nicole. Are we blaming Ohio's new gun law, on Ohio's new gun law? Just curious. I know we're going to blame everything on Ohio's new gun law. So I'm just curious, have we started yet? What happened in Uvalde wouldn't have happened if Ohio hadn't passed that gun law. I'm just picking with you, Nicole. I'm picking with you. Even though I know it's going to happen. Right now, I'm just picking with you. Nicole says the ban should also come with consequences of being caught with those weapons will cause you to permanently forfeit your right to bear arms. All right. And Dante said we couldn't handle online school during COVID. Let's see. Nicole's coming up with different solutions. The ban should also include if your child or anyone gets access to your assault weapon after the ban to use it to kill others, you'll be charged with the same crime as the person who pulled the trigger. Okay, I'll deal with that in a minute, but I got somebody calling in. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. What's your name? Hello?
Hey, hello, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. What's your name?
Well, my name is Sean, but you may have seen me on your YouTube as ZY2431. And my son got me on there right now. It's the GHS or whatever. I don't know. My baby 10, he always got my phone. I just let him do his thing. You know what I mean?
I understand.
It is what it is.
So what's on your mind?
But no, I was going to say, man, we're glad to have you back. And listening to you, you kind of changed my mind on my comment. I mean, you're right. I mean, we can't ban the AR-15s. We're not taking away our weapons. We can't keep everybody in the house. So what do you think we should do as far as the first step? Because like you just said, we can't stop evil from being evil. No matter what we do, we're going to gather and these things are going to continue to happen.
Yes.
So other than praying, I mean, like, what do you think we should do?
I believe you should arm yourself. But I mean, that's only practical for certain. Like when I go to the concert, I'm definitely not carrying no AR-15 to the, the checkout guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So arm yourself. Of course, I think some simple things, even though this won't help immediately, but simple things like teach your kids right and wrong and encourage them to do right, but that don't help for the myriad of people who are already out there who are just bad, evil people. I don't know. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel, running a zigzag pattern. All of that kind of stuff it sounds defeatist and negative, but that's really, in my mind, that's where we at. That's where we're at.
I mean, I kind of agree with you because it's like no matter what we do, like you say, you can't stop someone from doing what they already committed to doing. No matter how many guns we take away or ban, when somebody committed to doing evil, they just already committed to doing it.
Yeah.
So I guess, like you say, man, we just got to be alert when we out. Try not to gather in a lot of places. I know Don't nobody want to be sheltered. But it's kind of not even worth it to be in some places. Some places we can't avoid going to. But if I can help it, I just try to stay away from a lot of
and I mean like
crowds.
the grocery store. You in the grocery store shopping, and I'm not carrying an AR to the grocery store. I'm not carrying my 40 caliber to the grocery store to go shopping. I'm not doing it. I just try to be aware and try to hope that I'm never in a situation like that. And that if I am, I'm one of the quote lucky ones that get away.
True. Are you got to carry concealed?
No. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this new Ohio law where I can just carry it concealed without having no permit.
That's true. Okay. But yeah, man, I would just say, I suggest if you can, everyone who's of age and able to, everybody should have a weapon. But the only reason I say, I know we disagree as far as banning the AR-15s. I don't think civilians should have AR-15s.
Why?
I know you feel your way up.
But explain to me why not?
Okay, just because, like, for example, all right, now, if somebody decides to go off in Kroger or whatever,
okay,
now, we can't stop anybody from having guns, but if you didn't have an AR-15 and we all are kind of equipped with a similar weapon, I mean, we kind of got a fighting chance. But if somebody decides to go off and we try to defuse the situation or whatever, he got an AR and I just got a Glock, I ain't really got no chance to fight him.
Okay.
So far as civilians, we can all be on the same playing field, just in case somebody decides to go crazy.
Now, I see your situation, and let me raise you a situation. Donald Trump gets inaugurated in 2025 and decides he don't want the people to vote him out. He wants to cancel elections. He mobilizes the military against the people, and the people have to take up arms to legit take their country back. But now all we got is nines, and the military got military weapons. Then what? Just
okay. To that, you're right. I mean, I can't say nothing, but to be realistic, it's more so.
I think that's realistic.
It's more so it'll more so happen with the Kroger situation than the military turning on us, trying to take us out. I ain't saying that they won't. But
okay.
I'm saying,
okay. So let me raise you another.
That's kind of like a far stretch.
Okay. Let me raise you another situation that you might think is a little more realistic. A person who don't care about a ban on assault weapons, some militia white supremacist dude who got weapons to spare comes into Kroger with his M16 shooting it, and you got your 9. What kind of a chance do you stand against him?
We don't stand a good chance at all. But I mean, of course, I mean, there's going to be those rogue people who still have a few ARs that's left out there in the world. I mean, we're never going to totally eliminate the threat or eliminate the ARs in general at all. But I'm just saying the numbers will probably be more on our side versus everybody just got free will to go get AR-15s and just decide whatever they want to do.
Well, Sean, let me ask you this. All right, so we ban AR-15 and semi-automatic weapons that look like military weapons. Okay, we ban that, right?
All right.
I'm asking the question. You believe that people who have decided to go do some sort of a mass shooting won't find a way to get them?
No, like I said, it's always going to be those rogue people out there. We can't eliminate them. The criminals are the criminals. The crazies are the crazy.
So put the non-criminals at a higher risk.
I know what you're saying, but I just feel like overall the numbers will be on our side. Because everybody can't get an AR. I mean, but more people can get a hold of a 9, even though you can't fight that if somebody decides, if we get a rogue person out there and they decide to just do whatever they want to do. But I just feel like it'd be more numbers on our side if everybody just didn't have access to that. I mean, you can't
All
eliminate the threat, but I just don't think everybody need access to that. Now, you ain't got no AR, you ain't got no pistol at all, so you ain't got no chance at all.
Well, I do. I don't carry it everywhere, but I do. And the point that I'm making is not that, like I said, I'm not going to the concert or to the grocery store with an AR or even with my little 40 caliber. I'm not doing that. The point that I'm making,
we need to now?
No. And the point that I'm making is if they pass a law today to make it illegal, and that boy from Texas decided he wanted to go to a school and shoot the people at the school, he could get it and he could use it. It's not gonna stop an evil person from being evil.
I agree. It's not.
The only thing that is really gonna stop is somebody like me if I wanted to go buy one. Because I'm not gonna go through illegal channels to get one. Whereas people who want to do a mass shooting, they probably don't have no problem going through illegal channels to get one.
Right. But don't that go for any crime though? Like,
right.
It's illegal for me to kill you, but if I want to kill you, can't nothing stop me from going to do it.
Right. That you're actually making my point. So making murder illegal didn't stop murder.
No, it didn't.
So making these weapons,
gonna make people going to get them.
Making these weapons illegal ain't gonna stop people from getting them and using them.
We agree there.
All right.
We agree there.
All right. That's it.
Okay.
So, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you still for banning these types of weapons?
Am I still on board with banning them?
Yeah.
Even though it's not going to necessarily stop people from doing it if they want to do it.
Uh-huh.
I still say yes.
Okay. All right. I respect your opinion.
Yes. All right. And again, I just want to echo what a caller said before. We still listening to you. We still support you. And we're glad to have you back, man. And quit ignoring us on YouTube.
Y'all ain't posting comments. If y'all post comments, I'll read them. Sean, I appreciate your call.
Get well, brother.
All right. Okay. All right. That was Sean. Dante says, by that logic, why do I wear seatbelts? Well, I don't always wear seatbelts. But which logic are you talking about? Which logic in any way, shape, or form lends itself to the seatbelt argument? I'm not saying that it don't or that it didn't. I'm just asking which logic did you hear that lends itself to why do I wear seatbelts? I like to know these things. I'm not one of those people who feel like, well, that's different, so you can't talk about it. No, it's different, but still the logic may apply, which is why I'm asking the question. I genuinely want to know. Let's see. Daryl says a lot of these mofos who have AR-15s don't even know how to handle the recoil and can't hit their target. Again, the argument could be made that the overwhelming majority of people with an AR-15 ain't trying to shoot little kids at a school. I mean, I don't know the number of AR-15s out there. I don't know the number. But I would argue that the overwhelming majority of them have never been used to shoot a kid at an elementary school or to do a mass shooting. Hold on, I got another call coming in. You're on the afternoon experiment. Hey, what's your name? Is there a delay? Hello?
Hey, E, my bad. I'm sorry. My fault. I don't want to take away from nobody else. I had another question real quick.
Oh, this is Sean again. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Real quick,
No,
because I got another call
yeah,
coming.
I know, my bad. That's what I said, just real quick. Then we can hang up. I'll hang up and just listen.
All right.
Now, I know we disagree as far as banning them and not banning them. Now, what about harsher penalties if you're caught with them?
All right, I'll answer that. I'll answer that.
I'll hang up.
All right. Tony was calling in. I'm sorry, Tony, call back and I'll get to your call. I'm down with harsh penalties. If you use them illegally, you know what I'm saying, to murder somebody, the penalty should be quite harsh. But I think the penalty should be quite harsh if you murder somebody, period. If you pull a Matrix, you like Neo when he walked into that building and they like, hey, you go through the metal detector. Remember, he opened it up and he had all those guns. If you got 32 9mm inside your trench coat and you walk into a school with 32 9mm and you pull them out and you fire each one of them till they gone, throw it away. Fire each one of them till they gone, throw it away. Fire each one of them till they gone, throw them away. Yeah, just like Neo. I think your punishment should be the same as if you walk in with an AR-15 and you kill 19 people. What's the punishment for killing 19 people? So how do you, harsher? Should be a harsher punishment. I don't know. You kill 19 people. Whatever the harshest punishment is, you should get that for killing 19 people. And y'all know I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe in the death penalty. Somebody said, what's the number? It's on the screen, 717-KING, 717-KING. Let me see, I got another call coming in. Mike.
Hey, this is Mike.
Yes.
Oh, hello?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you on point with what you're talking about. There's no way to stop any type of a shooting. I mean, mass shooting on the street. I mean, wherever you want to, it's just no way to stop it. No way. So I agree with what you're saying, 100%.
All right. Do you, and so because there's no solution, do you believe in like the banning certain type of weapons or certain type of ammo or anything like that?
No, I mean, because you could take any weapon and do damage. I mean, I could grab a brick real quick and hit 10 people with it. I mean, so now do we get rid of the bricks? I mean, it's gonna always be some way to cause damage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people will make explosives. I mean, people know how to make explosives from, you know, what is that? Pipe cleaners or whatever the case, you know, when they go in there and make, I mean, there's no way that you can stop that. The only way that, like I said, that you can stop a shooter, I mean, a shooter got to stop himself and just not shoot nobody. That's the only way that you can stop that. So I agree. I believe that that's just, somebody just got to come up with answers when you start talking about banning assault weapons and certain type of guns and certain type of magazines, and that's just, you know, that's just a way to kind of come up with a, you know, a solution, but don't have no answer. You know, it's just, and a lot of people really are go for that, but I mean, it don't even make sense. That don't even make sense.
All right.
You know, so that's just my take on that.
And Mike, I appreciate your take. I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right. With Mike, me and Mike in agreement. Wyatt, say, well, E-Man, you don't think the guy who shot up the grocery store deserves to die for his actions? I don't believe in the death penalty. So, do I believe he deserves to die? Yeah, he probably does deserve to die. Do I believe that we as a society, we as people should be the ones to do it? No. I don't. I believe he deserved to like drop dead of a heart attack. Maybe if you caught him in the act and you shot him to save lives, I'm not against that, because I don't look at that the same as the death penalty. You're actively trying to shoot people. I'm trying to save people, and I will take you out to save groups of people. So that's not what we're talking about. You shot people. You are no longer in a position to do that. You're incarcerated. You lost your right to be a part of our society. So we lock you in a cage and we keep you there for the rest of your natural life. That's what I believe. Unless, in a position where you can be rehabilitated, but I don't know that you can rehabilitate somebody who just makes a decision to go murder as many people as they can. But that's for the judge and jury, I guess, to come to that conclusion. But do I believe we as a society say, all right, we stopped you, now we're going to kill you? I don't believe that. I don't believe in it. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I know this, and I'm not trying to get y'all to feel like me. I'm just saying this is what I believe. No, the guy who killed the people in the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Do we deserve to die? Yeah. Are we righteous enough to be the ones to kill him? No. No. So that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Emanuel, do you believe in abortion? I believe abortion exists. Do I believe that people should get abortions? Which I'm assuming is what you're actually asking. No, I don't think people should. I don't think women should. I don't think men should encourage women to or force women to. No, I don't. But I don't believe that you should take away, the government should not be regulating whether or not a woman gets an abortion. I've said this probably 100 times on the air. My feeling on abortion, I use what I call the God principle. I use what I call the God principle. Let me explain the God principle. Simple. If you believe in God and you believe God is all powerful, you believe God can stop all of this stuff from happening. He has the ability to stop it. If he don't want it to happen, he can make it not happen. He can make guns never have existed. He can make abortions never have existed. But he don't do it. He allows you and me to make that choice. I'm a firm believer God don't want people killing people for fun, for sport. God don't want people walking into an elementary school killing 19 kids and 2 adults. I'm a firm believer that that's not what he wants. And I'm a firm believer that he could stop it. But he say that's your choice to make. And then you deal with the consequences of that choice. That's how I am on abortion. I don't want you to get it, but that ain't my choice to make. Nicole, welcome to the afternoon experiment.
Hello, King of Talk. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And you?
I can't complain.
All right.
One day at a time. Well, your topic today is a hot topic. Everyone's still, trying to figure out how to basically end this senseless violence. I understand what you're saying and what a lot of callers have already said, as far as their want and their right to have guns. And I don't think what people are saying is to ban all guns. But the assault weapons and those LCMs, which is large capacity magazines, should be banned. And we did do it in 1994, I believe. I have the numbers right in front of me, for 10 years, and mass shootings and homicides with those type of weapons did decline. Other countries have also been successful when they have banned this. I don't know if you recall the incident in Australia, which happened, I think like 1996, the Australian port author rampage. 2 weeks after that brutal shooting, the Australians, which have a reasonable, rational government, put into effect gun violence. They didn't have a filibuster. They didn't have all these ridiculousness. They actually, did a buyback program and put in, tough stipulations. And their mass shootings have significantly declined.
Quick question.
Over a
Nicole,
decade, they've only had 11.
Nicole, quick question. In Australia, do they have as many guns in circulation as we do here in America?
They do. And Australia, they're big proponents of guns.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just want to make sure that you're honestly answering the question. So you're telling me that in Australia, they have just as many guns in circulation as we do here in America?
Well, I wouldn't say America tops it all. I'm not saying just as many.
So that would be no. So the answer to the question would be no.
And I could put this article in the chat from the New Yorker, but it says that there are still a lot of guns in private hands. And that was as of 2020, it's like 3.5 million. Of course, the country is nowhere near as big as, the United States or whatnot, but what they're able to do, they put in just some provisions. We have like a strong gun lobby that make us feel like we're defenseless, like there's no way we can do this. And there are things that we can do. And I think it's just, a very weak approach to the whole thing. We know what the problem is. You can't, eliminate people going to the stores, and that's really taking away their freedom and prevent them going to school. We're going to live our daily lives. The common denominator is these high-powered assault weapons, which are weapons of war. And you may disagree, but it's just like where people say banning it. Well, where would it end if we banned the assault weapon? Well, where would it end with the caliber of weaponry that we have? What do you want next? The missile? You want the code to the nuclear codes? You want grenades? I mean, what are you waiting for? What do anybody need with weapons like this that can burn holes through people, mutilate people? Like, people don't even really use this for hunting because it destroys the game. So it's really just like this whole power ego thing. People want guns, make them feel powerful. But after a while, like I said, we have a whole lot of suicides. People have all these guns. They're waiting for the zombie apocalypse, or what you're talking about, the government overturning, which even if we had our assault weapons, you still would be no match for the United States government. If they wanted to blow up your house.
Hey, Nicole.
Is not going to do anything.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. You sound like you're getting yourself really worked up. I want you to calm down, because we're not going to be able to have any sort of a productive conversation if you all worked up. Okay.
You go ahead, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I would say, using that logic, then let's ban guns. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I'm not for banning guns, but if you're talking about mass shootings, well, when you look at the definition of what a mass shooting is, what is it? 3 or more people?
4 or more people
in an incident?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say for sure, but my mind tells me that we have more mass shootings with regular weapons than we do with these assault style weapons. So if you're trying to cut down on mass shootings, which I was watching, I can't remember which program it was, and they put the statistic up, or it might have been something I was watching on YouTube where they put the statistic up that a great majority, the overwhelming majority of mass shootings are done with like non-AR style weapons, just your regular run-of-the-mill 9mm 40 caliber type of weapons. Those are the weapons that most mass shootings, the overwhelming majority of mass shootings, are done with those. So if you're trying to get rid of that, why not just ban weapons?
Because we still have our Second Amendment right to bear arms. And I think what you're missing is the caliber of gun and how quickly it can, injure and kill people all at once in a matter of seconds, minutes.
Not missing that at all.
Any gun is deadly, and that
Right.
goes without saying. And you're not going to eliminate killing, murders. That's just never going to happen. That goes without saying. What we're talking about is these weapons of war. Like, if you are someone that has served in the military, you know the whole field of being at war, having bullets fly by you with weapons like that.
Well, you really
And
don't. Nicole, I actually read a statistic to say most people who served in the military were never actually in the theater of war. So they don't know what it's like to be in the theater of war with bullets whizzing past them and all of that kind of stuff. That's just factually inaccurate.
These type of weapons, there is no place for them among civilian life. It's just not. Whether we're talking about situations in a movie theater or a school or people shopping, you got 21 people, children and teachers dead. You got Black people at a grocery store dead. You got people at a concert. Some of those other guns you were talking about, in some cases, if you could get to them quick enough, they don't bleed out, they could still be saved. Guns like that rip people apart. They rip people arms off.
But what about the
likelihood of you
Nicole?
And then the other issue is that it outguns the police. It makes it difficult for the police to come in and rescue. I know everybody's saying that, the cops should have been in there, and that's a different, when you know what type of caliber gun you're going against, like that's a tough thing to do, to call on them to go in.
No, it's not.
Only because the law
that's not tough at all.
Has made it so where their job is even more and then especially if the assailant is wearing a bulletproof vest, it makes it difficult to you. If you were in that classroom, it would be hard for police to even come and save you.
What? It sounds like now you just making excuses for bad police work.
It sounds like
you making excuses for bad police work.
More important than people.
You are making excuses for bad police work. You're trying to gloss over the fact that the overwhelming majority of mass shootings are done with your regular run-of-the-mill weapons. And if your goal is to end mass shootings, then you would want to.
It's not to end, it's to reduce.
Okay.
It is not.
So if we want to reduce mass shootings, then why wouldn't we focus?
Would ultimately be for no one to die.
That's
not going to happen.
So Nicole,
let's be realistic. We're talking about the reduction. We see the numbers in other countries.
Put nobody on hold. I would love
we
to have
see
a
the
conversation.
numbers when we had a ban for a decade.
Hold on, can we have a conversation?
Well, I'm trying to.
No, you're trying to scream over me. I want to have an actual conversation.
Keep the top of my screen.
Yes, you were. But look, if you want to reduce the number of mass shootings, that's what you said, right? Reduce the number of mass shootings. Significant. Yeah, even better. Let's significantly reduce the number of mass shootings. Now, if the overwhelming number of mass shootings happen with non-AR style weapons, then wouldn't it make sense that in order to significantly reduce the number of mass shootings, since the overwhelming majority happen with non-AR weapons, we would be focusing on the non-AR weapons that are contributing to the overwhelming number of mass shootings?
We would do what we're already doing, applying criminal law, and having the police do their regular investigations and what they do to curb crime in people communities. When we're talking about what we saw in Texas and in California and these other places where it's just a free for all, unlimited amount of casualties, like you're in another country in the middle of a war. That is just unacceptable. You got children afraid to go to school. You have, people watching their backs going to the store. And that's not a country that I don't think anyone wants to live in.
Well,
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Is it fair?
We sit up here and make all these excuses to have these military style weapons of war and any magazines that, allow you to produce, a number amount of bullets to have a number amount of kills in a short amount of time. It is no need for that amongst
So Nicole,
civilians in a civilized society. There is just no need.
Nicole,
for it. And I
you
don't
filibustering. You filibustering me. So Nicole,
I'm trying to make the point, brother.
Nicole, is it fair to say you're not necessarily concerned about the number of mass shootings? You're concerned about mass shootings with a particular type of weapon because you have a bias against that particular type of weapon.
I'm, of course, concerned about all mass shootings. Nobody wants to see any type of casualties.
But you're not concerned about the overwhelming
country
majority.
that we live in, and that the Second Amendment is part of, our constitutional right. It does not give you the right to have weapons of war. If that's the case, then where is my missiles and all these other things? I mean, at a certain point,
I think if you could afford a missile, you should be able to get one.
I don't think. Okay. Well,
but missiles are pretty expensive.
It's getting to a point of ridiculousness, and
missiles are pretty expensive.
I mean, walking the dog, and then your neighbor got a missile. Come on. I mean, at a certain point, we got to be.
I can tell you, my neighbor could not afford a missile. If he could, he wouldn't be living in my neighborhood.
This is the thing. It's no need for that, Emanuel. I mean, I understand what you're trying to, bargain and say, but this is like at a certain point, and what just happened in the past, couple of weeks, like when is it going to be enough? You know what I'm saying? Even the police, I wouldn't even want to be a police officer right now, just knowing, and we was talking about the law that's about to take effect in June, right? Yes, this is absolutely opening the door for what happened in Texas, because that young man in Texas had no criminal record, had no prior mental health issues, and was of legal age. And like I said before, everyone is a law-abiding citizen until they're not.
Right.
And so that was his day. And and on his 18th birthday, he bought those guns, and he did what he did. And it wasn't really any type of background check or anything that was going to give a red flag for that.
Exactly.
And so, and we pretty much have opened the same door. No requirement for a permit, background check, no training, no need to inform the officer that you have a loaded gun in your car. If they ask, you must tell them, but you divulging that information as soon as they see you, you don't have to do that. But
I shouldn't have to do that.
The law also says that your hands better be visible at all times.
That's even now.
Your hands are not, huh?
That's now.
I'm talking about like if you are in your car.
Right. That's
like,
now.
What's that?
That's all of the stuff that you're saying without that law in effect. It's the same thing now. My hands better be visible.
It's a routine traffic stop.
Yes, at a routine traffic stop, if I go to reach for something, I'm not reaching for nothing at a routine traffic stop. Guess what? Because they will kill me. They will kill me. And they'll say, and they will say that I feared for my life. He was reaching for something, and then they'll get away with it.
I know, but everybody don't understand that. And some people just, out of, just reflex, they might, unbuckle their seatbelt just to get a little bit more comfortable. They may grab their phone. They're saying that your hands have to be in sight at all times. That now, with them knowing that people can have a concealed gun that's loaded, and African Americans are 3 times more likely to be shot by police than white people. Like, everybody don't understand that, and it could be just the simple small things that we do that can have us blown away.
All right, Nicole, I appreciate your call.
All right, brother.
All right. All right. That's Nicole. Hey. I'm telling y'all, and y'all can look it up. And somebody asked, where's that statistic? And again, I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but y'all can look it up. The overwhelming majority of mass shootings are done not using AR style weapons. But we're trying to get rid of the number of mass shootings by dealing with the extreme minority of the weapon that's used to commit these mass shootings. My point is not just you can't do nothing. Well, that kind of is my point. There's nothing you can do. That boy, if he couldn't have gotten an AR style weapon, he could have gotten a 9mm or 2 and a lot of ammunition and killed just as many people because they didn't even come in to stop him. But and as far as, well, when this law passed, you got to keep your hands in sight. You got to keep your hands in sight right now. How many times do y'all have to see this stuff happen? How many times do you have to see unarmed Black men killed by police to know that whether you got a weapon or whether you don't have a weapon, that has nothing to do with the perception? So what you saying? Well, police see a Black man or a Black woman, they automatically assume that there's a good chance that they're armed. And that's why they respond the way that they do. But when this new law passed, when police see a Black man or a Black woman, they really gonna assume that he got a weapon. And so that's what they already assume, that already now. And for the past 30 years, that portion of it ain't gonna change. Well, but now they'll be able to shoot you and get away with it. When haven't they been able to shoot you and get away with it? I mean, the truth is, I have a weapon to protect me and my family. I'm not ashamed for having my weapon. And, if I could afford it, or if I chose to, I should be able to go and buy me an AR style weapon to protect my house and my family. Because I don't know, the person who break in my house might have one. I got another call coming in. Jason, you're on the afternoon experiment.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I barely can hear you. I wasn't gonna call today, but you got the line earlier in the show talking about you be reading the YouTube comments. I kind of didn't appreciate that.
I do read the YouTube comments.
You know. You be ignoring us, but that's not my fault.
Y'all YouTube people, y'all ain't gonna drive me crazy.
But what's up with these gun folks? Like, why you let her ramble on that long?
I wanted her to get her point out.
Or go ahead.
I wanted her to get her point out.
But she probably has never picked up a gun. She was all over the place. Then she started defending them cops that was too scared to do their job. And I was like, where is she going?
Well, but just because she may not have ever used a weapon, which I don't know if she has or if she hasn't, but even if she's never used a weapon, that doesn't invalidate her perspective.
A little?
No, not at all.
Well, you kind of invalidated when you made the point of more mass shootings are done with handguns versus ARs.
Well, I thought so, but she doesn't agree with that. She doesn't know if it's factual. And until she finds out it's factual, then she'll have to, I guess, conjure another argument to be more concerned about the ARs than the handguns. But I'm sure she will. And in her mind, it'll be quite valid.
And she's saying something. And the caller before that, he was talking about the AR versus the handgun. I'll be honest with you. If it's a rifle, an actual long rifle with the 16-inch barrel, I'm going to take the handgun every day. Unless y'all standing in front of each other, you should be able to outshoot somebody with a long gun.
Okay.
Like, and the amount of ammunition, this is what I was told when I took my CCW class. 3 shots. If your person ain't down in 3 shots, you're in trouble.
Just for the record, Nicole says she has her concealed carry, and apparently she's an expert sharpshooter. She's never missed the target.
Lies. And I'm G.I. Jason, but okay. Okay, I'm the best shooter in town.
I believe the part about having her concealed carry, and good, she goes and she shoots. The part about not missing the target, that's just a little bluster. But I believe her.
I mean, that's a lot of people that go get their CCW that ain't shot since they got it 3-4 years ago. But that's neither here nor there. I really called because you haven't been on the air, and I'm glad you're better. But did you see that they gave your boy a shot and he might be back to the league, and now you can talk about the NFL?
I did see, but I didn't believe. I saw an article said something about him signing for the Raiders, but it looked like a satire site, and I didn't look deeper into it to see if it was actual. But the site that I saw it from looked like a satire site, so I'll have to double check and see if that's actual.
If I'm not mistaken, the Bleacher Report said something about it too, but they didn't say he was signing. They said there were negotiations.
Okay, well, hopefully it happens. I hope it happens, and I can go back to watching the NFL because I do kind of miss it, but I'll be all right without it. But I would rather watch it.
I'm not gonna lie, you were the first person I thought of. Like, now he can go back to watching the NFL and stop naysaying on him for now.
I hope it go down. I hope it go down.
That's all I called for.
All right, Jason, I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right, that was Jason. Yeah, I hope it happens, and then I can go back to watching. But again, the site that I saw, and I forget the name of the site, but the site that I saw looked like it was a satire site. So, and I didn't. And when I saw it, I was on a mission to do something else. I think I was battling with somebody. I get into these battles on Facebook, and all I really do, y'all, is if you give out what I know to be non-factual information, I'll say that's factually inaccurate. And I ask questions. I share my opinion, and I ask questions, and people never want to answer the simple questions that I ask. So then I find myself at 3:00 in the morning still on Facebook asking the same question repeatedly with people dodging it. I believe in a conversation, you ask the question, people should answer the question. Like, so why aren't you moving to Switzerland? People should answer the question. Well, I'm not moving to Switzerland because I think it's kind of cold over there and I don't like the cold. Well, I'm not moving to Switzerland because over here in America, we got the right to do so-and-so, and they don't have that right over there. I believe if someone asks you the question in the context of a conversation like that, you should actually answer the question. But not answering the question because it's going to undo the ridiculous point that you were making. I don't think that's I think that's intellectually disingenuous. That's what somebody said to me one day. So it'd be 3:00 in the morning. I still be on there asking the simplest questions in the world. And all you got to do is answer the questions. Let's see. Somebody said, so you don't believe, or wait a minute, where was it? Why do I believe that the person who killed the people in the grocery store, why should they get to live? Again, y'all, all I'm saying is I don't believe in the death penalty. It's almost like, I know somebody, it's not the same, Emanuel. It's almost like when they caught the woman in the act of adultery and brought her to Jesus and said she deserved to be stoned. And Jesus started writing. And Jesus said something along the lines of, okay, let the person here who ain't never committed no sin, you throw the first rock. And then they all walked away because they knew that they had all sinned. That's kind of how I feel about the death penalty. Who among us are righteous enough to pass that judgment? And if we saying we gonna kill you because you killed people, not because you're killing people, we're not killing you to protect the lives of people. We gonna kill you because you killed him. All right. So now who gonna kill you? Because you just killed him. If killing is such a bad thing. D says made up story. Look, I'm gonna do a seminar one of these days. About critical thinking, the ability to listen, and the importance of listening to the specifics of a thing. And how to apply reason and logic to multiple situations that aren't the exact same. Because believe it or not, just because two situations aren't the exact same doesn't mean you can't apply the logic from one to the logic for the other, if it's reasonable. So whether or not that's a made up story, the principle of the story is what's important. It's the principle. Jack and the Beanstalk is a made up story. It's a made up story. But I personally, and I've heard other people do it, have used that story to teach the principle of not getting taken. He trying to sell you some magic beans. We know that they're not really magic beans, but it's the principle of it. Well, that's a made up story, man. You can't use Jack and the Beanstalk. It's the principle, not the actual story. And if all you got from what I said was, well, that's not a real story, it didn't actually happen, somebody made that up, you need to attend my seminar. Because that was clearly not the point. Oh, okay. Before I go, because it's about time for me to get out of here. And y'all know, I didn't promise, but I told my wife, I said, I'm probably going to only be on for like an hour because I don't know if my voice is going to hold up. But it's doing okay. It's doing okay. And this is only my second lozenge. So it's doing okay. Hold on, here's somebody. Could the reason most mass shootings did not involve ARs be because there was an assault weapons ban from 94 or so until 2004? And the data definitely supports the fact that use of assault weapons result in more casualties. anything could be the case, but it's not. It's not. The reason why more mass shootings don't involve ARs is because most people don't have ARs. More people have handguns. They're easier to get, is my understanding, easier to conceal, and more readily available. It sounds reasonable to me that would be the reason. But I would imagine you can look up the mass shootings from 2005 to present, and still the overwhelming majority of them. And when I say overwhelming majority, like definitions that float around in my head, majority is 50% plus one. 50% plus one. That's majority. A sizable majority, about 75%. Overwhelming majority, you're looking in the 90s. 90-something% plus. So when I say stuff like the overwhelming majority of Black people are not out there committing crimes, I'm talking 99+%. Overwhelming majority. And I could argue, and I would have to look it up, but I believe, and I will look it up, not right now, but I will look it up. Between 2005 and now, the number of mass shootings that happened that just involved handguns are the overwhelming majority involve handguns, even after the assault weapons ban. But I will look it up. Okay, also, and Freeman, I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to mention this real quick before I go off the air. I support Monique. I don't necessarily, because of course, I'm not privy to all the behind the scenes details. I don't know that what she did was unprofessional or unwarranted. I could see a situation where Monique felt so disrespected backstage. You say, well, the problem is with the promoter. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I should clarify. Apparently, Monique and D.L. Hughley were on a show together, and one was supposed to be the headliner and one was not, according to potentially who you ask. Maybe the promoter promised both of them they would be the headliner. It's kind of what it looks like. And because she ended up not being the headliner, she went on stage and she really tore into D.L. Hughley. She tore into D.L. Hughley. I watched it and she was brutal. And a lot of people are, oh, she was so wrong and she's so disrespectful and she's so unprofessional. And so she always got a problem with people and so on and so forth. She shouldn't have did it that way. It was unprofessional. And I'm saying for right now, I support Monique. And here's why. Because I don't know what happened backstage. It doesn't sound and feel to me like it was just a calm, respectful conversation about a contract. It's not what it sounds like. It sounds like some disrespectful stuff was probably said to her by D.L. Hughley, or stuff that she took as exceptionally disrespectful. And she's been in the game for a long time, right? And when you've been in the game for a long time, maybe some stuff happened and you just get tired of being disrespected in a particular way by a particular group of people or whatever. And you put up with stuff and you put up with stuff and you put up with stuff and you put up with stuff. And then you get to a level where you say, I'm drawing a line in the sand. From here on out, you're not going to disrespect me. And if you do, because y'all do all this stuff behind the scenes and y'all look like the most amazing people in the world, like, oh, he's so benevolent and so loving and so respectful and so this, and people look at these people and they're like, because y'all know how y'all do. Maybe she just like, hey, damn that. You're not going to disrespect me like that no more. And if you do, I'm going to let these people know. These people who pay our bills, what you are like in real life. Because you don't have to be that way. And maybe it'll change you. So I don't know what was said behind the scenes, but apparently she felt like she was disrespected to the point that she had to address it. And I'm not against that. I don't think it's unprofessional. Actually, I think what's unprofessional is if she was disrespected so badly backstage that she had to carry that energy on stage. Because you can't always shake that stuff off. That's unprofessional. But I support, now I'm not saying D.L. Hughley is wrong, because again, I don't know what happened. What I'm supporting is her right to tell her truth when she chooses to. That's what I'm supporting. Her right to tell her truth when she sees fit. If she felt that disrespected, and if things went down the way she kind of painted them, when did it become wrong to tell the truth? When did it become a bad thing to tell the truth? And we want to judge her because they've put a label on her. And believe it or not, because one of the things that she was kind of pointing out during that, 10 minutes or whatever that I watched, was she ain't perfect. She done made some mistakes. She done did some things that she probably shouldn't have did. She brought that up in some kind of graphic ways. But she said, yeah, I did this, but that was a long time ago. She kept saying, but I don't mess with nobody. And I can tell you as somebody who don't mess with nobody, when you don't mess with nobody, but people keep messing with you, you get to a point where you like, you know what? From now on, when they mess with me, I'm going nuclear. Because I don't mess with nobody. But people believe it's okay to be disrespectful to me because I've allowed people to be disrespectful to me and let stuff slide. So maybe when I stop letting stuff slide, they'll realize, okay, this ain't the one to mess with. Let's find somebody else who's going to keep letting stuff slide. And I feel like what they do is they say, she difficult, she a problem, she this, she that, she this, she that. Tell me, DL, did you say what she said you said? That's all I'm asking. Well, I mean, he ain't listening, but that's what I'm saying. Like, she said all this stuff, but you know, she difficult to work with and blah, blah, blah. And if you got a problem with this person and this person and this person, then it's probably you the problem. No, that's not the way that works. Sometimes I got a problem with this person and this person and this person and this person because they done did some stuff to me they ain't had no business doing. But they do it because they get away with it doing it to all y'all. But I ain't gonna let them do it to me. So now I seem like the problem because I'm the only one who will stand up for me. Y'all let them run over y'all because they got this name, because they got this persona, and you don't want to be perceived as the bad guy. But you're not running over me no matter what your name is, no matter what they think about you. You're not running over me. And if that make me look like the bad guy, Wyatt says they always making her the bad guy for telling the truth. Yeah. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Monique fan. I don't really believe Monique is funny. I do believe she's a little abrasive. But I don't see no problem with that. Some people look at being a straight shooter as abrasive. But if you're disrespectful to her, then you're disrespectful to her. And she's not necessarily the bad guy. Did Monique mention the promoter and the promotion company by name like she did D.L. Hughley? I don't think so. I hadn't heard her. I didn't hear her on stage. But she did mention that the promoter, I can't quote her, but basically the promoter is trash. She mentioned that on stage. But again, what did D.L. Hughley say to her and how did he treat her? Because that was one of her things, like, bro, we cool. Like, you've been to my house. You don't put your feet under my table. And then for you to come at me that disrespectful? That was what she said. Again, not a direct quote, but kind of paraphrasing. So in her mind, D.L. Hughley backstage did and or said something to her that she felt was totally out of line. So, and that says ego on birthday parts. Well, again, I don't know. It's possible that it was. It's possible. I can't say for sure. Because D.L. Hughley didn't come out and say she said something disrespectful to him. And if she was promised to be the headliner on the show, but she went on ahead and conceded to go ahead and go on not in the headlining spot, that don't sound like an ego thing to me. It sounds like Fran saying she was hurt. Phyllis says, I'm the same way. I don't bother anyone. I try to stay in my lane most always, but everybody has a limit. I try to choose my battles selectively and rationally. I try to be selective in my thinking and judging people I want to surround myself with. Monique is a very funny comedic actress, but not a funny comedian. I put her in the same category as Kevin Hart. I mean, I don't care for her as an actress, as a comedian. I didn't like that daggone show she had. I'm just saying, sometimes you had enough. And that's what I felt when I listened to her. Because she said a lot of things that made me transferring. Because she said a lot of things that I've felt and I've experienced on that stage. And I'm like, I've experienced that. I'm making concessions and you being disrespectful the whole time. And what you want me to do? I'm not kissing your behind. You being disrespectful, why? So maybe the promoter was shady, even crooked. But she felt like D.L. Hughley was downright disrespectful. And she called him on it. And I'm not against people calling people on their stuff. Y'all try to do it to me all the time. But I've seen a few things on here talking about what? Hold on, where is it? I'm a master disser and a supreme disser. So yeah, like y'all trying to, call me on stuff. But again, I don't diss people unless they come for me. I would argue you can't come up with a single time when I've just out of nowhere attacked somebody. Not once. Not once. Where I've just gone on to somebody's post or something and called them names. Not once. Not once. Because that's not how I operate. Steve Harvey did her the same way. Then Steve got canceled by the same people he tried to shame her for. Yep. He sure did. And y'all know I don't like Steve Harvey either. So, but between the two of them, I was 100% on team Monique. Now, I wasn't with her. I heard Lincoln talking today about them bonnets. Can I say this and then I got to go? We're not getting into a whole conversation about bonnets. If you see somebody wearing a do-rag, hold on, let me get this call here. CK, you're on the afternoon experiment.
Look at God, man, you're back in effect. Yeah, I mean, back in the driver's seat. You out here doing it again?
I believe so.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You said call you out, man. How you just gonna tell that bold face lie, man? What you get 50 and forget what the hell you did in your 30s and 40s?
What I do?
You disrespected plenty of people. You've been on the air for 20 years.
Who did I disrespect?
How many times? Hold on. How many times? Just an opinion from myself. You'll tell Jerry Tolliver. He's an idiot. Just like that. So you said name one time. You didn't do it several times. You are the type of guy that disagree with people and think they stupid because they don't agree with you.
Hold on. Let me disagree with that. See, I'm not calling you an idiot because what you said is not idiotic. I just disagree with it. And there's a big difference there. Like, I disagree with people all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't call them idiots because they're...
No, but I have made you disagree with me so bad when you called me. Yeah, I'm saying you said do it one time. It's been more than one time. But that's what's wrong with us. Stop lying, making up stuff.
Hold on.
That you have done that.
CK, I'm gonna try to explain the difference to you. There's a difference between a difference of opinion and saying something idiotic. And CK, you've said some idiotic things in the past. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I when I see CK on the line,
there it is. Cincinnati King.
I remember, or not remember, I know that there's a chance CK might say some profound stuff. There's a chance CK might say some stuff that I'm going to just disagree with. But there's a really strong chance that CK going to say something that the average to less than average person of intelligence is going to look at and say, that dude is an idiot. So
no, that's where you're messing up. You're right. That's where you're messing up. You're putting too much of your spin on it, sir. I'm just saying, yeah, okay. We just got to get along because we killing each other. I kept telling you this. We done lost Glenn. And I was telling Glenn this when he was alive. Stop hating on people because they have a difference of opinion.
Again, we're not talking about a difference of opinion. We're talking about...
But I'm saying, okay, go ahead. You're right.
We're not talking about a difference of opinion. You and I have had many differences of opinion where you were not saying something idiotic. But from time to time, you say things that no reasonable or actually slightly less than reasonable person could believe. Like when you honestly, when you look at it and you say, okay, no reasonable person could believe that. And then you deal with some less than reasonable people and you're like, even those less than reasonable people couldn't believe that. The only conclusion that you can come to is this person is being an idiot. And from time to time, CK, and if you're being honest, you'll admit it. From time to time, you say idiotic things.
Oh, all right. But look, hold on. This is where we got to fix the world.
All right.
Stop saying, just like you, me, myself. It's all of us. It's not just me. It's you. Don't you say idiotic things too? Or is it just me? Or am I the only one saying it?
No.
See, now,
do you want me to answer?
That,
hold on. Can I answer? Can I answer?
Yes.
You are not the only person who says idiotic things. I don't join in that company, but you are definitely not the only idiot in the village.
And that's the problem, because you won't include yourself. Now look, Emanuel Livingston will be quick to point out somebody that needs mental health or mentally ill, but he would never say himself needed. That's where you lose credibility. If you tell people, yes, I myself need mental therapy, then you could be trusted. But by you pointing the fingers, that's putting you at a superior complex. That's acting like you better than everybody else when you in the same boat.
It's not everybody else. It's just a few. But let me ask you this. Tell me, and if you tell me, I'll be honest. What have I said that was idiotic?
What have you said that was idiotic?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you got me on. All right, I'm gonna get you back on that.
So here's what we do from here on out. When I say something that's idiotic, call me on it.
Now, okay, you're right. Now, I want to get your since I got you. What's your opinion on? I thought this was an idiotic statement, but you did not make it. But Lincoln was saying people should not have body armor. I wanted to get Livingston's opinion on that. How do you feel about the body armor? Do you think civilians should be able to get that?
Absolutely. I agree with you. That was an idiotic statement. And so, but now you see where I'm coming from. You believe that to be an idiotic statement. I agree with you. It doesn't mean Lincoln is just an overall idiot, but he said something idiotic. That's you. From time to time, you say things that are idiotic. Right. But yeah, I agree with you. That was idiotic.
But you see, it's just a matter of opinion, because somebody that agree with him would not think it's idiotic. But we just think it's idiotic because we're on the other side.
No, right? I think it's idiotic because of his reasoning or lack thereof. Like it wasn't even something that he thought out. It was just something that an idiot would say, based on not even any reason in their own mind. Like he couldn't even put together the pattern of why. He just kept saying it shouldn't happen because. So there you have it. It shouldn't happen. I can't even do it, but just because. And so if you can't even come up with any sort of semi-logical justification for what you're saying, it might be idiotic.
But I just want people to understand the big picture we're trying to accomplish here. And I think remember I told you it's about stopping the violence, stopping the murders. And remember, I said I have a plan, and you didn't agree with me. But the thing is changing the minds and make people respect other people's opinions. Because with me, okay, I might be idiotic because I believe you for whatever you say. Because what you say don't affect me, your opinion. So whatever you say, I'm taking it at face value. I'm not going to think that you're going to lie to me because who am I to lie to? That's where I think we go wrong. A lot of people think people lying to you, but it's not. No, I'm not nobody. So why do you think? Like I had to ask one of my slave owners. I said, why do you think I'm lying to you? They said, I don't believe you. I said, hold on, I believe everything you say to me. Now tell me, why don't you believe me? Am I a criminal? That's what I asked my slave owner, and he couldn't even answer.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well, I think I understand what you're saying, but maybe you need to consider moving to a position where you give people the benefit of the doubt, even if you don't necessarily believe them. Because saying I believe everything everybody say to me is not wise. I don't believe everything that everybody say, but I'll take what you say, and even though I don't believe you, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
No, okay, I'm talking to you right now. 100%, I believe everything you saying to me. What reason do you have to lie? That's why I believe. I can see if you had a motive, like if it's keep me out of jail, you don't have no motive. So why wouldn't I believe you?
Well, that's
so if I accuse you of being a lie,
well, that's because I'm an honorable person. But everybody's
just like
not.
myself.
But everybody's not honorable. And so if you're dealing, you got to be able to discern when you're dealing with an honorable person and when you're not dealing with an honorable person. And of course, you know, facts and stuff like that, like things that you know, if what they're saying goes against things that you know to be factual, don't believe them because you know that what they're saying is not true. So that's all I'm saying. The premise that I believe everything that everybody say to me is a little, in my mind anyway, a little flawed.
A little idiotic, but okay, I'm just saying, I did the pre-trip inspection. Okay, it's all documented, right?
What?
So now you telling me I didn't do the doc. Why wouldn't I believe you? So if you tell me you did the pre-trip, why wouldn't I believe you? Okay, it's documented. So now when I accuse you of not doing it, now I got to say, well, what am I lying to you for? What I'm lying to you about doing this, and it's the easiest part of the day. This ain't even the work part. So that's what I'm saying. It's all about manipulation of the mind. And that's why I say y'all go too hard on the voting when y'all try to get these young people to vote, because you're voting for people that hate you. I'm voting for a person that don't give a damn about me. You know what I mean? The person I'm putting in the office, he don't care about CK. He don't care about no Cincinnati King. He want me to die.
CK, I got a question. This might sound like a foolish, idiotic question. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You done jumped the 4 or 5 different subjects, I think.
No, I'm trying to tell you. Just like y'all tell people, young people, y'all need to vote. Now, when are y'all going to wake up and start telling?
Hold on. We wasn't talking about voting. We was talking about Monique.
No, yeah, and you're right. Now I'm saying, okay, with Monique, okay, you're right. Let me say this with Monique. This is what's going on with her. Why does every time she speak, okay, this is why I speak for the black woman. Stop lying. You're speaking for yourself. Why would you now you're making up lies. Every time I speak for the black woman. So every time I speak for the black man. Is that what you're saying?
You probably should at least try that. You should be trying to speak up for the black man every time you speak. But CK, I gotta run.
There it is. Hey, great show, man. I had to call you, man. Hey, much love to the Americans and much love to the survivors. We will survive. We still alive. And rest in peace to the lost soldiers.
All right. That was CK. And I'm not saying anything negative about that man. But okay, here's where I was about to go before CK called. And again, we're not getting into a long conversation about bonnets, because that's where I was transitioning. Here's what I say. If you see somebody with a do-rag, if you see somebody with a bonnet, if you see somebody with pajamas on, if you see somebody with slippers, if you see somebody with their pants is hanging down, if you see somebody with see-through clothes on, if you see somebody with them long eyelashes, if you see any number of things that you see that you don't like, there's nothing wrong with not liking it. There's nothing wrong with thinking it's ugly, tacky, nasty, disrespectful, unnecessary, all of that kind of stuff. Ugly. Nothing wrong with that. But I actually be hearing people say stuff like, that should be illegal. If you wear that, you deserve to get your behind whooped. If you this and that. And I know some people say that kind of tongue in cheek, but some people really believe that. And when you say stuff like that, some people take that to heart. I say, and I'm gonna use me and the eyelashes. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I think they ugly. I think they tacky. I think they look nasty. But they don't affect my life. They don't affect my life. They don't take money out of my pocket because Mrs. Livingston don't wear them. They don't, harm people. They not hurting anybody. Let you say what you want to say about them. Think what you want to think about them. But judging people, judging their character, and all of that kind of stuff based on stuff like that. Like, didn't we all learn in elementary school? You don't judge a book by its cover. But then we grew up, and a lot of us exclusively judge a book by its cover. We forgot that lesson we learned in elementary school. We go out and buy covers because we know people gonna judge us based on the cover. We want to drive the kind of car because people judge us based on our car. We want to wear a suit because people judge us based on whether or not we, like people legit look at people like, oh, he ain't got on no suit, he ain't got no job. Like, really? We go out of our way to judge people based on the cover. And we forget the simplicity of, don't judge a book by its cover. Because he got on a suit, that don't make him a good dude. It don't make him respectful. It don't make him honorable. It don't make him honest or true. And because she got on a bonnet, don't mean she hood, ghetto, dirty, nasty, stinky, a bad person, disrespectful. None of that. It's just me. She got on a bonnet. You don't like it. You ain't gotta like it. But can we try to judge each other a little less? Can we try? All right. Now, with that being said, I do got to get out of here. No, Wyatt, I will not go till 5 o'clock. I will not go to 5 o'clock. But y'all see my, which side? Y'all see my little logo here? I had to design my own little logo. It's weak, but I want y'all thoughts on it. Hold on, let me see. I think I got it. I had to come up with my own little logo. I've paid people. I've paid people to come up with a logo for me and end up with nothing. So I came up with my own. Hold on, if I put it on this side and move this way. So this is my little logo now. I did a shirt. Actually, I did two, even though one of them is upside down. But this is my little logo. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I want y'all opinion on my little logo. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know that this is the final. Because again, this is just something that I came up with actually on Friday. I was sitting here at my computer and I was like, let me come up with something. So this is what I came up with on Friday. Hold on, let me see. Let me move me out the way. What are we thumbs up? Are we thumbs down? I see some thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Now look, I don't mind if you gonna be negative, just being honest. Like, don't try to hurt my feelings, because you can't. Because again, I came up with it in about 5 minutes. Criticisms, anything you would change? Fran said, I can't vote until I see the other options. Ain't no other options. I sat down and this is what I came up with. It was one try, about 5 minutes. This is what I came up with. See, I wanted, the experiment portion, because, we in the lab, we trying this thing out. Is that a beaker? Yeah, that's a beaker. Yeah. Right there, that's a little beaker for the T, a little atom for the X. Let's see. Angela says, change the font and colors. That means you don't like it, because it's all about the colors and the font. Like, I don't understand. Have to sleep on it. All right, I respect that. When would a merch be on sale? I might come up with something. Let's see. I like the afternoon experiment, but the wireframe text for your name is hard to read. Okay. Jason, who says I never read YouTube comments, says it's a no from me. All right. I respect that. Angela says never go with your first choice. Something with a king of talk. Not bad for a start. He says change the colors. I think I like the colors. I like I was going for kind of a burnt orange and cream. I like that. Why not try a microphone for the eye? Only reason is because everybody got a microphone in their stuff. And so I'm like, I might try a microphone for like one of the O's or something like that. Maybe for the something. But I didn't necessarily want to do a microphone. Looks Jerry Springerish. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. Jerry Springer made millions of dollars. Somebody just looking. Why? No. Make it brighter. Fran liked the colors. Say, yeah, it's hard to see your name. Now, I have to admit, on my computer, it didn't have all of the with Emanuel Livingston was just solid blue. And then when it rendered out, it rendered with the lines and stuff. So that I do have to admit that wasn't what I was looking for. Most important is if you like it. The black background is what's throwing people off on the blue text. All right. I like it. I was thinking a mic. Yeah, everybody got a mic. Everybody got a mic. Change the name to cursive to match the. I specifically didn't do cursive because, I ain't want people trying to forge my fake signature on nothing. Change the color and font of your name, all right? Keep it, I like it, it's yours. Put the King of Talk on the back of the shirt. A few people say they like the colors. Afternoon. That's not happening. Do we get a share in the show since we're giving you input? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll give you your certificate next time I see you. White background color. The background color, this just comes up. Hold on. It just comes up black. When I do that, I don't actually have a background color per se. I don't actually have a background color per se. Hold on, let me put me back on the screen because that's important. I don't have this is going to go on a few different color shirts. It's going to go on a few different color shirts. So the actual background color, it's a transparent background. Use a king and a crown. I still have to do my King of Talk logo. But I'm just saying, and in all honesty, I think I've paid a few people significant money to come up with something, and the stuff that everybody has come up with has not been even 10% as good as this. So I said, I'll come up with something myself. And then maybe the next time that I go, because I have to be honest, and I hate saying this, everybody that I've gone to is an African American, and because I be trying to support African Americans, and so these African American graphic designers, you know. But so yeah, I just they've not been good, and I know it's some good African American graphic designers. I just haven't been lucky enough to find them. So I decided I would do it myself. Show us the professionals' designs. I'll have to find them. They're not on this computer. So I'll have to find them, and I might put them up. But that was really it. I just wanted to get some thoughts on it. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all coming back, because I was gone for a good minute, and I was like, they might have gave up on me. But thank y'all for not giving up on me. And as y'all can hear, the voice is still not 100%. But like I said, I think I'm about 60. So I'll go back into voice rest for the rest of the day, and we'll keep it going. That's about it. I can't think. There's nothing else that I can think of that I want to say, other than I hope something absolutely amazing happens to you today. Till next time, it's been the Afternoon Experience. I'm out, y'all. Peace.